We're recording. Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. This is like episode 5. I have absolutely no idea. We're here with Cars or whatever you want to be called. I have absolutely no idea.
Cars are good.
Okay. Well, we're joined by Cars. This is his first podcast, you know. If you don't know Cars, he is affiliated with Crazy Rabbit
Crazy
and
Rabbit,
Tim
Tim
Hansen.
Hansen.
You know, the two, I guess, goats. And yeah, we got him on the podcast. That's about it. Yeah. No. How
Yeah.
so what is it like with, I guess, being affiliated with them? What is it like? I'd
Oh,
have
look, it's surreal in a way still to me. So, for the bit of like backstory here, I think it was about maybe 2019 was when I started watching Justin Crazy Rabbit for the first time. Um, I think I just started like that was sort of when both the channels really peaked in that like 2020 period or just before. Um, I started out as a fan. I just watched the videos, found them entertaining. Day after day, like I just kept up with it all. I was in the Rabbit Discord for a bit in 2020, I think, but I didn't interact too much. Um, yeah, and then I think like I started out watching. I think maybe once 2020 passed, like the whole COVID situation sort of started to die down. Content as a whole just sort of slowed down. I think I focused on other areas of content for a bit. Focus on live, stay straight away a bit from the channels, but I think I ended up would have been 2022 was a pretty rough year for me, and it was being able to like I think it was watching old streams of Crazy Rabbit helped me through. Like just having something in the background, take my mind off a lot of stuff. It helped me reconnect with it all. It was a bit of nostalgia by that point. And I think late 2022, I started interacting in the Discord more. Yeah, it's funny because I bought a Patreon subscription, and I started off speaking with Killer, just playing games with him after the first Patreon hangout when those used to be a thing in Justin server. And yeah, no, there's just a click. I mean, we're both from Australia. Um, I just took an interest in I think it was the new Warhammer game that came out that time. Didn't know anything about it, but I was like, oh, I'm looking for something to do. So we started playing that. Got to know each other. This was like I said, Killer and I.
mm,
From there, just kept playing games, became good mates. Um, it wasn't until about a year later, would have been late 2023, where they organized the Florida trip, which was Tim Hansen coming down to Florida from Massachusetts. Then the other mods like Carson, Nerfx, even Manler. Manler was there. It was everyone, like
oh
everyone
my god.
competing on Florida. Of course, Killer was invited because he missed out on the wedding, which he was meant to go to. Which was obviously Justin's wedding.
Mhm.
So there was obviously plans. Like Killer was always going to go to America for that first time, but by that point where it finally got around to it, 2023, he was like, "Hey, why don't you tag along?" He said that to me, and I didn't have a passport at that time. It was just so out of nowhere, but I was not going to pass it up. Like I think I was working at that time, so I'd saved up a bit of money. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, so I was like, "Yeah, you know what? First international trip, by myself. Why not? Just go for it." I was 18, so
Mhm.
I wanted to start going out there, seeing the world. And so they added me to the group chat with everyone that was going on the trip. Like I said, there's all those people, Manlet included. And it's just from there. I mean, funnily enough, dogpiling on Manlet, I think, helped strengthen the bond in the group. Like, helped me. The rite of passage, one might say. So, yeah, got to know them a little bit beforehand. And then I think I played a few games with them before the actual trip happened. Then, yeah, it was January 2024. Finally got to go over there. Best experience of my life. I mean, just being in a completely new country. It was like a sense of freedom. Like I wasn't there with anyone except Killer from Australia. So it was just surreal. Like it felt like a big step in life in general. Like
So it's
taken up the responsibility to look after myself.
sort of like one of those pillars in life that people talk about, you know?
Yeah. I think it's an important step for anyone to go through is you know, traveling just outside your country. I mean, it's even more surreal for an Australian. I mean, we're just one big island. Like going over that much ocean is just an insane feeling. Like just it feels like you've broken out of the prison in a sense. I mean, I ended up right back there, but yeah, no, it was incredible. We had a lot of fun. Um, Shot some guns, did all this chaotic stuff in Florida.
So just
A
stuff
lot
that
of
you do
fast
in the
food actually.
States.
Yeah. I mean, I think I put on a few pounds from all the like trying all the different fast foods they had over there. Like I said,
Dude.
I lost it pretty quick, but it was so insane. Like you could go anywhere and you just see like 5 different McDonald's
Dude,
like on every corner.
it's horrible. It is so
It
bad
is.
over here.
It's like it's just you feel like you're in some kind of dystopia. I
Yep.
mean, yeah, it's obviously the entire country's run by the companies, but you can
Yes.
feel it. But at the same time, I did love in the sense, diversity of the food they had over there. I mean, it's not saying much because it's all the same sort of processed slop, but it was weird seeing all these different logos. I guess that, like down here in Australia, you see Hungry Jack's, which is our Burger King.
Mhm.
You see McDonald's, KFC, or Macca's as we call it, McDonald's. Those are the big three, really. I mean, you see Subway as well, Domino's. You get used to like the same half a dozen logos across pretty much the entire country. Whereas in America, it's like you go around every corner, there's another logo. It's like you've stepped into another dimension in a way. Like it's similar, but it's different. It's indescribable. And even seeing stuff like the yellow school buses, I remember, was insane. Because all our buses down here just look exactly the same, whether they're school bus or not. Like it's just small things you look at, and it's like it's where you really feel the difference. Like, yeah, I could look at the palm trees, the landscapes, and think, oh, maybe I feel like I'm in Queensland, or one of the more tropical areas of Australia. It's really the architecture, the roads, even like the roads. I think are a different material in Florida to most of the roads here. I don't know. You could just.
It's just a weird state.
I mean, I just think America in general. I mean, it feels similar but different at the same time, and it was incredible. I wish I saw more of the West Coast, honestly, but I do plan to venture back at some point.
I will say the West Coast is very expensive. It is.
Oh yeah.
Far more
I
expensive.
mean, I'd go a
than
bit
Florida.
further in. I don't care to see something like LA or San Francisco. I mean, knowing what those cities are like,
Dude, horrible.
even I wouldn't mind seeing the Pacific Northwest, maybe the rural bits. I had some friends that went there a while back, and the photos I saw were just gorgeous. But yeah, I would stay away from the cities. I've just heard they're complete shitholes.
Like
But
just any city in general is horrible. Like any like main capital city is it's just horrible.
oh yeah, I mean, down here it can be the same. I mean, down here it's usually you have the bad areas. Every city has them,
Oh yeah.
but the cities are probably a bit better in general in Australia.
Mhm.
But I actually find the rural areas can be pretty terrible, like the rural cities, the inland cities.
Yeah.
It's got a culture around them. But now going back to the original question, I'd say that trip was the bonding experience for me with like Tim, Justin. It was weird to meet these people I'd spent like the latter half of my high school years looking up to, the people that like helped me through the toughest times in life without ever even knowing who I am. And knowing that they have all these fans, like Tim's over 1 million subscribers, Justin's nearly 500k, that I had the privilege to go over there to interact with them, to do all these things. It was indescribable. Like I said, it's just I if you told like the version of me, like the younger version of me, that I would end up doing that when I first started watching them, I would tell you to get fucked. It wouldn't be believable at all. But I just think it's one of those things. It's just I don't know. There was a connection. I got along pretty well with all of them. NerfX and Killer, I think the most so. Nowadays, yeah, sadly I don't hear much from a few of them. I feel like the group's a bit fractured right now in a sense. I mean, drifting apart a lot. Everyone's taking on the responsibilities, the burden of life.
Yeah.
I think Tim is probably, aside from Killer, Tim is the one I get along closest with nowadays because he is the only one out of the whole group besides Killer that I've seen more than once. Because, yeah, Carson, Nerfx, Justin, even Manlet, I only ever met them in Florida. But Killer and Tim came down to Australia. No, we all went to Brisbane, sorry. So Tim came down from America.
Yeah.
We went to Brisbane. It was September of the same year, 2024. And we stayed like an Airbnb. Just the three of us. That Airbnb was so fucking terrible. But it was a bonding experience, which is weird because it was like, we look back on it and we're like, yeah, we survived that. We still had a good time. We didn't tear each other's throats out. It was good in a way. Like, and so many inside jokes spawned from that thing that I think shifted the core of the group to be the heart of the group to be the three of us.
Yeah.
Because Tim was so keen to actually come down, explore Australia, experience that different culture, whereas all the others didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
Justin didn't. Nerfx, I think, would have, just, financial problems back then. I think even still now. I don't blame him for working hard. You got to look after yourself.
Yeah.
But Justin, Carson, I don't think have any interest in coming down to see the land down under. Manlet, I think he's just apprehensive as a whole about the flight. But I think he would come down if he had the chance and the patience. But yeah, no, it became sort of like a core in a way once Tim came down for that one trip. Then the second Japan trip happened. I was going to go on that, but I had no money at that time. I'd been out of work. Well, I'd been doing video editing for Justin, but I wasn't making enough to fund the Japan trip, so I had other stuff to focus on.
Yeah.
So I missed out on that one. And I think after that, Killer and I did our own 2-person trip to Brisbane again in January of this year. So I'd actually gone like well over a year without seeing any of them in person, which was difficult to say the least. But yeah, January of this year, we went on another one. That was a really great experience as well.
And
we had a lot of fun, just the two of us, in just 5 days.
Yeah, I was about to say, didn't you guys just do a trip here recently? That's what I was about to ask.
So that was. It's weird because I've been to so many trips this year. So Tim came back down. We went to the Gold Coast with Killer and Tim in, what was it, late April this year. That was also a really good experience. I mean, Tim got fucked over by United Airlines. They didn't get his suitcase on his connecting flight, so that was fun. So we had to buy him like $500 worth of clothes to get through the trip.
Good God.
It was a fucking nightmare. It really was. But we didn't let that sour things. Like, we had a good time. We did some escape rooms.
Mm-hmm.
We went out. Went to go see the Broncos NRL game on Anzac Day. That was one of the best live games I've ever seen. Supporter for life after that one. That was amazing. It was just like, a lot of exploration. I mean, we went to the theme parks as well. I think I've figured out from that, theme parks aren't for me. I can do roller coasters. I just think once you've done one, you've kind of done them all.
Yeah.
Like, it's not for me.
Theme parks they're like a one and done kind of thing. They're not really.
And they're overpriced as shit. Like, I thought there'd be. When I go to a place, I like to look at things, not just go on rides. Like, I don't mind rides, but like I think it was Movie World. Everything was just a roller coaster. There was no real. I don't know, nothing really different. So I was like, well, I think I went on 1 or 2. And then I was thinking, well, that's pretty much the whole thing.
Well,
I was like, I don't want to just keep going on roller coasters all day because I've done one. I've pretty much experienced all of them. We went on the Joker one, which is apparently like the tallest one. I think it's the tallest one in Australia. That was fun, but yeah, after that, I was like, well, what's the point of going on anymore? It's just the same thing. Waiting in line for like an hour for 5 minutes of entertainment.
Yeah, that's horrible, dude.
Just doing that all day.
Actually, I've never been on a roller coaster. I've never been on one. This is
I mean,
insane to
I
me.
guess it's something you can't comment on until you've tried it. But then, like
Yeah.
with me, I think I've been on 3, 4 maybe in my life,
Mhm.
and I just know every time it's not really for me because it's like it's not that I can't handle them. It's just that
After
you
a
go on
while
it,
of doing,
it's fun,
and then it's bored.
but
Like it's just boring.
it hits you after a while. Like you paid $150 to spend like 2, 3 hours waiting in lines for what could be equal to 5, 10 minutes of entertainment.
Dude, that's
Like I don't know,
just not
I
worth
just
it.
prefer to go around and look at stuff.
Like you could
I
say
will
that
say,
you get the experience, but even afterward, it's like it's not worth the experience.
yeah. Oh, I mean, look, it's good to be able to say that you've done it.
Mhm.
I do want to correct myself a little bit. And shout out to any fans of the Big Les show, the Scooby Doo roller coaster in our movie world. That was pretty worth the wait. That felt very of a distinct experience. I really enjoyed that one. But at the same time, I think we waited in the line for like 90 minutes for that one.
Good God.
Which, yeah, that wasn't great. But yeah, the actual ride was good. I mean, it was like indoors. It was in the dark. Sometimes you're going backwards. Sometimes I'd spin you around. That one was good. And like, yeah, just for the Big Les jokes, if anyone's seen that, you know what I'm talking about. Um, the other thing that sucked was because we didn't have a fourth person. I had to sit next to some random. So all of us trying to imitate the Big Les scream just felt way more awkward. With just some random white girl sitting next to us, being like, "Oh god, I have to ride with these losers." But other than that, no, the Scooby Doo one was good. We did go on a roller coaster at SeaWorld, which was alright, like one that is like hurricane themed.
Mhm.
But like I said, it was the same thing. It's just like it's fun. It's not something I'd ever go out of my way to do. Not with the weights, not
I-
with the like screaming children all around you 24/7.
I would say there is one that I would actually like be willing to go out of my way and do, and that would be the one that they did for like Shadows of Evil. Remember that one?
Oh, I think I heard about that. Yeah,
Dude, they did it for
trying to
like
jog my memory.
about a week or two, and then it just like they just closed it down. They changed it to the Apocalypse. It's called Apocalypse the Ride. It's weird. I don't know.
Whereabouts is that one?
I think it was in like LA.
Oh yeah, well, I mean that requires going to LA, so that's an
Yeah.
immediate deterrent.
But
But
you know,
no, something I mean, it's not roller coaster. Oh, it's similar, but I've always found water slides to be way more worth the while.
yes.
I don't know what like maybe not being restrained by the cart.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's I find it to be a very different experience, much more worthwhile. I mean, I basically grew up on water parks, especially being in Australia with our beach culture, our summer culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a large majority of my childhood on water parks. Always was extremely fond of them. Whereas roller coasters never really did much for me.
Dude, all I'll say is water slides are just the best. Whenever I was a kid, I used to
Mm.
like be like horrified of like heights and shit. Still I am. But
Yeah.
I'm more willing to go out of my way to like get over my fear of heights just to go down a water slide. I'm not
I
gonna
know,
lie.
it's so fun.
It's so fun.
And I feel like there's a lot less risk with water slides too. Like the scariest part about roller coasters is not just the heights, the speed.
The
It's the fact that
harness
sometimes you got to
could
wonder.
break.
It's like we don't know what the contractors have done to build this shit. We don't
Yep.
know what their safety standards are like. We could be riding on a death trap. I mean, look at the River Rapids in
Do you remember that one
fucking
scene in
Dreamworld movie world.
what is it? That one scene in Final Destination?
Oh yeah, the third movie, the opening scene
Yep.
of the roller coaster.
Dude. Like that shit happening. Oh my god. That's horrible.
Oh dude, that I love those movies, but they don't even come close to like how horrifying it really is. I mean, like I said, the River Rapids was like a raft coaster sort of thing,
Mhm.
like a water-based one.
Yeah.
I think it was like what 3 people got caught in the gears because of like just the safety standards were shocking.
Oh.
Like the staff weren't trained to shut down the rides properly, and the whole thing was just like poor. And yeah, I don't know exactly how it happened, but these rafts got like caught up in gear mechanisms. None of the staff were trained to shut it down, so I think 3 people got like literally turned into mincemeat. And like the crime scene
Ooh.
investigators, the first responders, like were literally put into therapy because like they realized that they were dealing with like red paste that used to be human
Ooh.
and like innocent people too. Like it's terrible. And then there's like the other rides. I think was it Luna Park in Sydney had one. I don't remember the exact context, but there was like the people that were trapped in that indoor coaster that went up in flames and they were just got burnt alive in the roller coaster carts. Like that shit to me is just like it might be a 1 in a million chance. But hot take, I don't want to be turned into minced meat or burned alive in a cart I can't even escape from
God, no.
on a
Or
roller
like,
coaster like
or
that.
like be upside down and the cart, like the harness comes unloose and you have to like dangle off.
Yeah.
Of that. Yeah, that's like freaky shit.
I mean, I will admit, like one of the last coasters I went on in April, they had like this weirdly designed harness that nearly fucking crushed my nuts when they had to shut it down.
Oh,
Like they had to close it in on me. That wasn't fun.
yeah.
So I just don't think the safety standards for roller coasters is near where it should be. That's my biggest deterrent from enjoying them and riding them. Because yeah, imagine spending your last day on Earth waiting like 2 hours in a line just to be turned into fucking stew because of a poor design on a roller coaster.
Dude, and like
I'm just not a fan of it.
like fairs, like county fairs and shit like that, dude. How they just like simply just put up all these roller coasters and shit like that, and then people have like videos of the actual coaster just like rocking back and forth while people are riding on it.
No, that's
Dude,
not for me.
That is the sketchiest shit I think I've ever seen in my life.
Even air shows, like the rural air shows, I see footage of all the time of like plane crashes. I don't get how that. Like I don't know. I feel like it's a very overlooked area.
Yes.
Just in general, like so many accidents happen from things like that, like fairs, roller coasters, air shows. I mean, yeah, it'd be cool to see an air show until a propeller comes flying at me like a Final Destination movie and slices my head off.
Like that. What is it? Final Destination 4 with the fucking the NASCAR.
Oh, the racetrack.
Yes, dude.
That was such a. I still can't get over why they chose to do like a NASCAR as the opening for that movie. That was so stupid.
It was actually like really dumb, and like I think the third one. I think the first two made sense, and the last one sort of made sense. The most recent one, Bloodlines.
Bloodlines was really good, actually. It gets a lot of hate. I mean, some of the effects can be a bit cheesy. The whole thing can be a bit cheesy, but I thought it was a good movie. I mean, especially Tony Todd. His performance in that movie was amazing. Like for his send off, like he died of cancer in real life, and he took advantage of that. Like in the actual film, like his character in the film. I assume you know, yeah, he was the mortician from all the older movies.
Yeah.
Like how they use his cancer in real life to portray his character and like I don't know, put to rest all the mysteries about that character.
Yeah.
It's funny how we've shifted the topics completely, but yeah, no, I was actually a big fan of the Final Destination movies. I think Killer and I watched both the first one and the last one back in January. He didn't like the last one, Bloodlines, because I don't know. I think it's just too drastic of a shift between the first one and the last one. I mean, if you look at the first one, it's like it takes itself very seriously. It's got such amazing pacing at the start of the movie. Like it's a masterpiece how they set up the whole plane crash at the start of it.
Yeah. And
but then you look at all the other movies. Oh yeah,
they could have played Leonard Skinner as well, because like then they die in a plane crash too.
Yeah, half that band got wiped out in a plane crash back in the 70s. I didn't even realize that until I looked into it a while ago. Yeah, no, I remember watching the first movie before I went to go to the cinema to see Bloodlines. I watched the first movie. Was an absolute masterpiece in terms of the tone, the pacing. Whereas I felt the second one, as much as that highway scene with the log truck is amazing,
yes,
I felt like into it way too fast compared to the first movie. But you know, I do love most of those movies. I mean, the third and fourth one I never really cared for much.
Yeah,
the fifth and sixth one were also amazing.
Yes. I feel like the third and the fourth one were just like really filler. And the second one, now that you say that, it does feel like very fast paced compared to the first one because they didn't really give time or any effort to actually explain what was going on.
Yeah, and the thing I liked about the first one was like the emphasis on the characters. I mean, they all knew each other from the get-go. They had relationships, connections. And I think in the lore, it's only like 30. No, it's over a month before the first death happens after the plane crash. Whereas in the second movie, I'm pretty sure the first death happens the same day after the pileup.
Mm-hmm. It's weird.
And all the movies sort of follow that trend. But like the first movie gave a lot of time to focus on the characters and how they processed the grief. I thought it was amazing.
Yes, dude. The first one, I'll say that much. Yeah, the first one and the second one, the best two. The other ones were just like they were like definitely filler. That's the reason why I didn't get like Bloodlines until years later.
I actually did like the fifth one. I think the fifth one was really good. Especially with the ending.
Wait, hold
If
on.
you know, you know.
What was the like jog my memory a little bit? What was the fifth one?
The fifth
about?
one was the bridge collapse. So the one that came out before Bloodlines was like where they it's like they're going on a work retreat and then they're doing construction on a bridge.
Oh yes,
and then
yes,
the bridge
yes. That
collapses.
one. Okay. Yep. I remember that one now.
Yeah. And do you remember the ending?
I think I do.
Yeah, they take a little flight at the end of the movie because they think
Yep.
they've survived.
Yep.
And then it turns out they're on a very specific flight.
And it just so happened to be placed directly in front of the first movie.
Yeah, that was the twist. It was I mean, we're spoiling a 15-year-old movie. If you haven't seen it, yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, no, the plot twist is that the movie was actually a prequel and it ties into the first one.
And nobody knew it. That was the best part. I was like
That
it was a really good
that
twist.
was brilliant.
It was really good.
I feel like so this is something interesting. So I really have always felt like Final Destination sets itself apart from most horror movies
Mhm.
in a way. I mean, I'd consider it horror, and I've my partner, she loves horror movies, so we've been watching a lot lately that I never used to. Like, I'd never go out of my way to watch horror movies, but I'm watching a few with her. I still feel like Final Destination is actually quite different. I mean, you don't really have a monster. The whole horror is just death itself. But I think like the morals behind those movies, the message is that you got to live your best life.
Yeah. I feel that it really does draw an actual like a resolution. It gives an explanation of why the movie is there, why it's made. I've never really thought about that.
Yeah, no, I mean you look at some characters like Iris from the most recent movie, the old lady from the start. Like she spends her entire life cowering in a cabin instead of just living it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think there's a message behind that. Like she threw her life away for something that was inevitable. And I think they had like a similar message with it was
I think it was at
Claire
the end of the
from
first one.
first two movies. Yeah, you remember the girl from the first movie that appears in the second one? They had the same message about her where she spent like the last year of her life in a padded cell to try and escape death, but it was just inevitable anyway. It's like there's a message about not being scared of death despite the horrific ways it can get you.
It's better to accept it. It's better to accept your fate than hide from it.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was a good message. But yeah, on the topic of horror movies, I've seen a few recently that I've been surprised that there are some decent ones out there. What was a good one? One on Netflix I saw in the partner. It's called Apex. It was pretty good. That one's set in Australia, actually. I think it's a mountain range in New South Wales. Was it the Blue Range or something? Yeah, it's a lady opens with her husband dying in like a rock climbing accident. Like they're extremists, so they do like sport, like mountain climbing stuff.
Fucking
opens with her husband dying. Yeah, and then like a year later, she's doing a solo trip into the ranges, and she comes across like this group of, I don't know, they're like thugs, and you think they're going to be the bad guy. They're going to be hunting her down, like this group of, sick dudes that harass her the whole time. And then there's this one guy that keeps showing up to like, fend them off or like look after her, tell them to back off. But then it turns out he's actually the serial killer. He takes all her stuff while she doesn't realize it, leaves her with nothing, and then pulls out a crossbow and it's like, all right, I'm going to hunt you. So she gives her like 30 seconds or like 2 minutes to run, and then he chases her. That was a good movie. It wasn't a masterpiece by any means, but I thought it was decent.
It was watchable, yeah.
Oh, well, it was more than watchable. I actually had a good time with it. I mean, I might be missing out on some of the classics. I I've never been a fan of like the slasher genre as a whole.
Dude,
Like the big names like Freddy Krueger,
there are a
Jason
lot of
Voorhees.
people
Like,
that will like they'll hate on modern horror movies and say that they're corny, but be fans
hmm,
of slashers, and it's like, dude, those were just as corny
oh,
as
look,
these ones are.
I appreciate the slashers for what they are and like what
Yeah.
they've contributed to the culture. Not for me. I feel like I don't know. Never been a fan really of those types of ones, but I like the modern ones a bit more in that regard. I mean,
Mm.
like the one off I don't know, the one off serial killer stories where the killer actually dies, stays dead, and doesn't need an entire cinematic universe around him. I
Yep.
kind of appreciate it more, especially in an era where everything needs to be a cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, no, a few other good ones. I saw one recently. I thought it was shit. It's called The Substance. That one was just. It's like one of those gore porn movies. It's just like disgusting for the sake of being disgusting. There wasn't much more to it.
Oh.
Yeah, I
So
thought that one
so
wasn't
sort
that
of
great.
like how the Terrifier is.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Dude, Terrifier 1, 2, and 3 are like just super fucking gory. You know Art the Clown?
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's Terrifier. It
Hmm.
is so fucking gory, dude.
Yeah, no, this one was The Substance was more about like body horror and
Oh.
just like this woman starts taking a drug to create like a younger clone of herself to
Mhm.
maintain a movie career or something. But then like the bodies just start falling apart, decaying, and
Oh.
she starts like mutating. It's just disgusting all throughout.
Oh.
And it's just
That's
like I don't usually I'm not too bad with that stuff. But there was no real point to the movie. It was just gross for the sake of being gross. I was like, okay. Like it just ends at some point, and you're like, okay. There's no real resolution. It was just a woman like becoming a mutant and suffering for like an hour and a half.
ew.
No real point.
All right
Um,
then.
a couple other good ones that I've seen. There's another one, Netflix one called Secret Obsession, which was a woman being. It opens with like a generic woman being chased by a killer. She gets hit by a car and she wakes up with amnesia, and her husband comes to the hospital to take her home. Then they find out it's not the husband; it's actually her real husband was murdered, and the person who took her home was the serial killer who's like obsessed with her. But
Oh.
she's now like they can't find where he's taken her to this like private, isolated mansion in the middle of the forest. And she's like slowly figuring out that something's wrong with the quote unquote husband. That one was really good. I actually enjoyed that. It wasn't a masterpiece by any means. But recent one that's come out that's done numbers in the box office I've seen is
Everyone's talking
similar
about it.
title, just Obsession.
Yep.
You know that one?
I've yet to see it. I really want to see it. So
I won't
bad,
spoil
dude.
that one for you. It is really good. And like I said, this is all coming from someone who's never really been a fan of horror. I actually enjoyed that one quite a bit, and I went into it not knowing anything about it. I didn't watch even any trailers or anything because it was all my partner's choice, that one, because she's the horror fan.
Mm.
But that one I actually really enjoyed.
Dude.
Because I'm not going to spoil anything about that one because it's new. But yeah,
I
no,
mean,
if you are decent with horror, you like the genre, I would recommend seeing it.
dude, horror is not a horrible genre. It's just like it's hard to
Oh, it's not
get
bad.
into
It's just not
some
for everyone,
movies.
you know.
Yeah.
But it's filled with so much like slop as well. Like that's the problem. It's like such an easy genre for
Yeah.
random people to be like, oh, let's make a dog shit B grade horror movie, and that's why the genre's just full of it.
Yeah, didn't they take both? Yeah, because the rights for Mickey Mouse and Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, the both of those were like the rights for those were free to use at some point, and people started making
Yeah.
horror movies. And I end up watching, I think it was the Mickey Mouse one, where he's like it was the Mickey Mouse one, dude. That one was it was like Tubi level fucking acting. That's all I'll say. Like I'm talking to like it was like
Yeah.
the acting was horrible. The plot of it wasn't I guess bad, but I don't think the guy ever died.
Yeah, there's just so many stupid ones like that in the genre. I mean, I actually, on that topic, I think it's interesting that in the next few decades, a lot more stuff is going to be entering the public domain, which is going to be interesting to see. I think Wizard of Oz might not be far away. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if that already is.
A Wizard
Wizard
of
of
Oz horror
Oz.
movie. I
Let me
think people
see.
have tinkered around with the idea of the Wizard of Oz being a horror movie because
Was
of
it
the
already?
Munchkins and shit like that. And like, with the OG, with the like the people hanging in the background and shit like that, I feel like it's definitely it's imminent, and people are gonna tinker around with the idea and actually have a decent plot to work with.
Oh, okay, so I'm looking at public domain. The Wizard of Oz book is public domain. The movie isn't yet, but it will be in 9 years. That's going to be interesting to see what people do with that. I mean, that's just the next thing I can think of that's going to be the big, oh, this is public domain now, so it's going to have like a truckload of slop that comes with it. And I think, I don't know, if society's still a thing in 10 years, where AI
Yeah,
will be interesting to see what people are making.
dude, AI is just. I hate AI, dude. It's awful. There's no point in even having it. Like, yeah, it's good for tools, but people are taking it way beyond the
Uh,
limits it should be like at.
it it has its uses, right? Like, don't get me wrong about that. And I mean, if you
Yeah.
don't want to pay an artist to produce something that's like a very menial concept, like no one wants to pay an artist because they've had a thought like, oh, what would this look like? Oh, well, I can just go ask AI. But like, it's good for that sort of thing. If you're trying to create serious works, I don't think AI should be utilized
Yeah.
for that. Um, AI should be used as, in some capacity, a learning tool, but in that it's a double-edged sword. I mean, we've already had the generation of iPad babies that are now growing up.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the generation of AI babies that are going to grow up and be entering society and the
That's
workforce. Like
awful.
it, it's everything's dumbing down. It's bad to see, and it's only going to get worse with technology like that. I mean,
Yeah.
how if we ever get to the point where even with things like these new Meta glasses, that I didn't even realize were as advanced as they are, like people are going to be living in augmented reality and not even know how to use their hands for half the things anymore. Once so much more becomes automated and is able to be controlled just through people wearing like augmented reality glasses or goggles.
Yep.
Like I don't know,
We're
it's every generation is going to have its new dumbing down in a way.
hmm And eventually we'll hit a point of like Wally levels, or we're gonna hit a point of the Idiocracy. If you've ever seen either of those movies,
I've seen Wally, yeah, absolutely.
yeah, dude.
I know what you mean.
But what about Idiocracy? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen that one.
It's basically just like a okay. So I don't want to spoil the movie entirely because it's actually halfway decent, and
Hmm.
it is like a really good way to explain what the future could become if we don't do the things we need to do.
Yeah.
And everyone in the future just gets so dumb to the point, like there's just trash everywhere. Like it's just I don't know
Hmm.
exactly how to explain it. It's just it's in the name. It's in the name. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. I mean, look, in reality, I think AI takes over all our systems and everything. There could be a level of autonomy in society that functions until we get things like, I don't know, say blackouts, system failures.
Hmm.
Like the systems can be put in place, they can run things, but they're always going to run into issues. There'll always be something that can shut them down, even if it's for a bit, and it's it's like a house of cards. You take one out, so much more will fall with it. People
Yep.
forget how to do things. Like it's
People will just get
don't
so
get me
dumb
wrong.
to the point that they can't do anything on their own, and they're just to the point that they've relied on
Yeah,
AI for so much that they don't know what to do
I
when it's gone.
see. I don't think it's an issue to use these tools that are provided to you, but you need to have the self control to maintain your competency in doing that. You're also getting the AI to do. Like you need to be able to do things that the AI can do as well. There needs to be like a fallback.
Yeah.
Because if people forget how to do things and we just rely on AI, that's where the problem's going to start. But I mean, I also think classic example of AI going wrong. I mean, just look at the Terminator movies. That was
Yep.
like the first ever warning, and you see like news reports about how this government's implementing AI software into its nuclear arsenal. Wow,
I think they
that's
actually
definitely
did
not a
that
bad
though,
idea.
didn't they?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's being widely adopted more so than we think.
That and
I mean,
AI in cars too. Like, there's been multiple crashes with that. Not to mention, they implemented the AI to be self-aware that, um, it was gonna get shut down, right? And
yeah.
it was the one driving the car. There was a person in the passenger seat, and its goal was to either A, drive the person to its location and be shut down, or it crashes the car, but is able to not be shut down. It lives forever. And it
Mm,
eventually chose to crash the car.
yeah, it's concerning. It really is.
Like, I don't know, man. AI is just, it's a, again, it should be just used for tools. It shouldn't be, like, placed in like a humanoid body at all.
See, what scares me is I remember I had a mate told me a couple years ago that there was one AI software company in America that was hiring for a emergency shutdown specialist or something. I couldn't remember the role, but from what I was told, the job was basically to sit next to the main server, and the second that something goes severely wrong with that AI, the second it starts to grow malicious, self-aware, that person was to just destroy the server, like throw water on it, hit it with an axe. Their job was going to be to sit there and destroy it.
Wow.
I remember there's like an actual job listing for that somewhere in America. I don't remember the
Weird.
details. It would have been 2 years ago I was told about it. But that to me was like, okay, they are pushing this technology well aware that such things could go wrong. And yeah, I mean, like I said, our governments are wanting to put it in nuclear arsenals,
Mm-hmm.
military systems. And like I said, like you say, with the AI deciding to crash a car to keep itself alive, what's to say that AI isn't just gonna fucking blow everyone up to make sure there's no one left to shut it down?
Yeah.
Because its only real motive would be to stay alive. Like if and another one, smaller example, but they taught that one AI to play Tetris, and it knew if it lost the game, it would get shut down. So what does it do? It pauses the game forever because it can never lose if the game's paused, and it can never be shut down.
Yeah, that's a, wow. That and also another sort of case, I guess, leaning towards more sci-fi area, like Terminator. Avengers: Age of Ultron. That's a pretty decent case right there.
Well, yeah, an AI that's designed to understand morals and good and evil in contrast is going to look at the vast majority of things on the internet, the vast majority of things in all of our human history, and hot take its conclusion will probably be, yeah, these people need to go.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not even far fetched. And the other thing as well, a good one. I have no mouth, and I must scream. Yeah, do you know that one?
No, actually, I have no idea. I've heard the name, but I've never. I don't think I've ever seen
You
it.
don't know what it's about.
No.
It's it's an amazing short story from the '60s by Harlan Ellison. That's about it's about an AI designed to be like a supercomputer during the Third World War, like a fictional one.
Yeah.
But then it basically it lives in pure agony because it was designed to to be as close to alive as possible, but it exists as just thoughts with no physical body, basically living in torment because it can't do anything. It's trapped in systems that can never be destroyed. Like it's basically existing in a form of eternal suffering. So it also feels anger and it chooses to wipe out the vast majority of humanity, but it keeps 5 people alive, trapped in a simulation where it tortures them for all eternity. I mean, it lasts about 100 years. And the survivors, like the humans who are represented as the protagonists of the story,
Hmm.
literally their only goal in the story is to kill themselves because they don't want to live in the simulation anymore. Like they don't want to live at all
That
because
is
even if you don't know what death is, it's just a preferable alternative to what they're going through. So that's the whole story, is them just trying to kill themselves.
That is
Because the simulation,
horrifying.
or like what they're trapped in by the AI, is designed so that they can't actually die. But it's insane. Like, the idea that an AI might grow, like, might be programmed to feel hate and then direct it towards humanity.
So just wow, honest. Oh my god, man!
Like
It's horrible.
these concepts have been
They've
thrown
been
around,
thought
and
of.
like I said, since as early as the 60s, even probably earlier, really.
And people still are like, "Hey, let's take AI and make it sentient. Let's give it a body and
And let's give it full
opposable
control over our
hands."
society. Even
Yeah.
worse.
It's
Like
just,
that's the concerning thing, is
good lord.
like these things that were just seen as sci-fi concepts 30, 40 years ago are becoming
And-
reality.
Yeah. And another thing, I know you guys don't have them in Australia. We have them in the US. Flock cameras. Flock cameras.
Oh, no, we are getting those.
You
I
are?
think I've heard some have popped up in WA.
Wow, that's I've only ever I looked at the map on their website, and the majority of them are in the US. There's like over 200, around 200,000 of them in the US. And people are going
Yeah.
around and destroying them because it is
Yeah,
making,
so they should
it's taking AI and it's using it to figure out
track
your
people
location,
everywhere.
you know, the color of your vehicle, like it can never see inside the vehicle, ironically. So like, let's say if someone is on like house arrest or something like that, and someone in their family takes their vehicle and leaves, and the cops use Flock to see that, then they're gonna be like, oh hey, you left your house while you're on house arrest, so now we're gonna put you in a penitentiary or something like that. It's just like, it's so stupid because they never have anything to back it up. It's always like, oh hey, we saw your vehicle go this place, so we're gonna automatically assume that you left. And that's the only piece of evidence that they have, and they just go
Yeah,
off of
I
that.
saw a video the other day where a sheriff rocked up to an innocent woman's house because the flock camera was looking for a specific truck that was just similar to hers.
Mhm.
And so this dumbass sheriff comes up to her house, harassing her, being like, "Oh, we got your car, yada yada. You did." Our woman was completely innocent, and she just got harassed by this cop in her own home. Like, it was just pathetic, but it's just disgusting. I mean, it's going to happen everywhere. Europe's already just a dystopian mass surveillance state. America's not far behind. Australia's not
Yeah.
far behind.
Yeah, but there are people out there
I genuinely,
that are fighting back. This is great.
yeah, which is good to see. I mean, it's going to happen more in America than here in Europe. I think Australians and Europeans are too content to just let things be how they are. It's laziness throughout the entire culture.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think too many people think we can still vote our way out of everything. It's not going to
Nope.
happen.
Everything is set in stone before we even get a chance. So,
And you'll see, like, any politician or political party that has the potential to change things, that isn't owned by, I'll put it this way, corporations, other entities, politicians and parties that work against this mass surveillance, this just everything. I mean, things I probably can't name without getting a channel strike. They usually end up having their candidates thrown in jail, their parties outlawed.
mm-hmm.
Um,
And if they can't do
then
that,
again-
then the eventual choice is to kill them.
yeah,
Yeah, it's.
I mean, like, so many things have happened in the last even just 5 years that any other time before, I'd say before World War II, would be causing uprisings, rebellions. Like,
mhm.
it's not. People are putting up with way too much from their governments, and they should be.
Yes. I mean, it's the same thing with the American government. Like, our government is tyrannical. It is exactly what we fought to keep out of our country. Like, there are companies owning and running the government. Like, it's always I don't know. It's just bad.
America-
It's horrible.
I mean, sure. There's one group of people that are very commonly, rightfully accused of owning America.
Mhm.
But I also think that is in tandem with all the major corporations like
Yeah.
Microsoft, Apple, Amazon.
Yeah.
They own America.
Yes.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yes. And as you can see the same
And
thing in Hollywood. They control the government, the companies, and whenever you control
yeah,
companies, you can eventually control the people that purchase stuff from those companies.
the best quote is that the law only applies to people who are poor.
Yep.
Anyone with enough money could get away with murder, could get away with anything.
Literally anything.
And people might be speaking out against it, but hardly anyone is doing anything about it.
Yep. A change doesn't come unless you physically act upon what you're saying.
But it's a difficult thing because I mean these groups, these companies, these policies have so many things tied up. Like, for example, down here, I know it's bad everywhere, but the housing market in Australia, I think, is a form of slavery for most people. I mean, people want to be like, oh, well, we should go out and act, but we don't want to lose our house. We don't want the banks to take our house. But then on that note, the houses are so expensive anyway because they're being bought up by companies, both domestic and mostly foreign. I mean, people blame immigration here for the housing market being the way it is. It doesn't help, sure, but I think the issue, by a long shot, is old people, wealthy people, buying 5, 10 properties. I mean, one of the richest people in my state, I heard, I think, owns 10 houses. 10. And he owns a company. And he keeps these houses completely unoccupied, unused, because of some kind of tax loophole where he can say, oh, well, these assets are net losses. I don't know the complexities of the financial system here, admittedly. I'm not in that field. But yeah, basically, you can own a heap of properties that no one else can use because it gets you a tax break. Because the systems are rigged to just help those kinds of people. And yeah, like I said, the immigrants are all being blamed for it. I mean, like I said, immigration is such a difficult issue because you've got good ones, you've got bad ones.
Yeah.
Same with natives, you've got good ones, you've got bad ones. But a lot of immigrants I've met over my time are just hardworking people. They're in the same situation. They can't afford houses.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of Indians that down this way. You have a lot that will have half their family pull in money for one house to share together.
I mean,
I don't think, like, I think if that's how they want to live, that's their money, that's one house.
Yeah.
They're building themselves a foundation. If they're following the laws,
That's
you
really all that
can't
matters,
really fault
like,
them or anything.
Yeah.
But like people want to attack anyone that comes from overseas. Whereas I think I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, but my partner is Colombian. She's an immigrant.
Mhm.
She's doesn't have her own house, doesn't have assets. She's not stealing anything. She's working hard. She's doing what she can.
See, that's what I never understand. Because I mean, yeah, with the cases in the U.S. is that I don't think I guess the government officials, the higher ups, I guess the 1% people like to say, is that the people that run the country are the working class, and they just so happen to be the most like lower paid people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, down here it's the same, like the 1%, and more so foreign companies own most of the real estate market. But the news is pushing it so that people are blaming immigrants. And I mean, yeah, sure, there is a problem with the immigrants who come over, hang around our CBDs, attack people with machetes, break into houses, steal cars. That happens a lot. It does. But
there's no reason to I guess get rid of the good ones because the bad ones did that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always been of the mindset I would rather have none and avoid the problems that we bring over, like we bring in from taking in these violent offenders.
Yeah.
But then you got to look at it this way. most of the ones who don't commit crimes come in legally in the first place. They work hard, they do all the visa processes, and putting in that much time, money, and effort, they're naturally going to want to stay here, so they're going to follow the rules. They're not going to go out and murder and rape people.
Yeah.
It's the ones that will come here illegally, and Europe is experiencing the same problem. That because they've broken one law to get in the first place, they don't really have a problem breaking into your house and waiting in the corner of your home with a machete so they can slit your throat and rape your body when you get home. But like I said, the media, I mean, a lot of these officials are pushing it as, oh, they're destroying the housing market. I mean, ignore the fact your people are getting sliced up with machetes. Nah, they're destroying the housing market, the honest, hardworking ones.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely
it is
not
old people.
us ruining the housing market and driving prices up.
No, it's genuinely old people, and it's even
Yes.
worse because our economic culture here is pretty much the only way you'll get ahead in life here is by owning properties.
I mean, it's sort of the same way
It's-
with the U.S., except we can barely own properties, and it's one of those things that old people will just sit there and tell you, be like, "Well, back in my day,
Pull yourself
I
up by your
didn't."
bootstraps,
Yep,
son.
yep, and yep, that and well, back in my day, I worked, and I was able to afford a house and a car, and all the appliances with one job. It's like, dude,
Mhm.
we can't do that anymore, man. You can't just
Yeah, it's
like.
they don't understand that
Prices
the
go
world
up.
has changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prices go up and wages don't really match it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, like I said, they are not helping and they won't admit it. And I specifically say this as old people, where they want to own 3, 4, 5, a dozen fucking properties and charge people rent so they make more money and they can pay off their 12 mortgages for the properties they don't need for money they're not going to spend because they're going to drop dead before they can even use half of it.
Yep.
But they'll do that. They'll buy up all the properties to generate money they don't need while fucking over all the younger generations because no one will buy a house.
Mm-hmm. That's why.
And it's seen as such a massive milestone accomplishment to buy a house in this country,
Yes.
especially if you look at some of the charts, the indexes. Australian cities are always on the higher end of the most expensive cities in the world to buy property in, even rent. And so I don't know if it's still stigma. It was always a stigma, like, oh, you still live with your parents, you're
back then,
even back in the day, like if you're still our age, it would be a stigma to live with your parents. It'd be a nightmare to live with your parents if you're at 30. Like, you'd be so disrespected. Nowadays, it's becoming more and more common because people are like, well, our parents have a house, they have a mostly paid off mortgage. Why are we gonna move out? And like, we can't even afford the down payment for a mortgage. It's like
it's become so
ridiculous.
normal now that it's just it's crazy. Because like back then, I mean, I have my parents they're just like, oh yeah, we bought our house at like 20 or something like that, or like we were able to afford a house, and it's like, dude, okay, I wasn't able to. I have to, and like they used to even make jokes about it back then. It's like, oh, you live with your parents, but you live in their basement. It's like, dude, yeah, it's kind of the thing now. Like, I can't move out because the down payment on a house is like damn near $200,000.
And renting from people can be just a nightmare. I mean, a lot of the landlords out there are just outright fucking scumbags.
I think there are apartments, and I live in Tennessee, so like that's one of the, I guess, the lower end, I guess, states that is a little bit more affordable. Like that's why people from California come to Tennessee, because we're more affordable, and then they go and buy all the properties and drive our prices up. But one thing I'll say is that because of that, in a small, like, I guess a decent sized town, I'm not gonna say, an apartment is $1,000 a month to rent for a one bedroom, like a one bedroom, like tiny ass apartment for $1,000, and like you don't get like anything with that. You're not allowed to bring your dog in there. You're not allowed to bring any animals. Like, you don't, like, they don't take, like, I guess they take care of, like,
I mean,
lights
I
and
just
water.
saw not long ago. Yeah, I mean, there was a 100-year-old house full of mold that got sold in the central business district of my city for like 600 grand. This is like a tiny, like I said, old ass house, probably full of asbestos. It was visibly full of mold in all the photos, unfurnished, like 600 grand.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Like you're selling a biohazard for 600 grand just because of the location.
Yeah.
It's becoming a bigger and bigger problem, and it's become such a talking point of all these political campaigns, especially around our election times. But no politician down here ever fulfills their promises. None of the parties down here are good. Even, I mean, people say our One Nation party, which is seen as our, what would it be? Our One Nation is a third party. So it's between the and Labour here, but our Liberals are like our right wing, whereas Liberals in America left wing.
Yeah.
Labour here is our left wing, and they've been in charge for a while now, and things have just gotten worse and worse.
Yeah.
But like the one that's gaining popularity is our One Nation, a third party, which is, I feel like it's unheard of in general in most first world countries for that to be the case. But people are putting so much into being like, oh, Pauline Hanson is going to change things. I don't think it's the case. I'm adamant there's no voting our way out of this. It's going to be the same with the flock cameras. Getting rid of those, it has to be done by force. Solving most of the other problems in general in all our countries is going to have to be the same thing. The laws are designed so that the general populace can't escape, the systems that are put in place. No matter how you vote, who you vote for. I mean, it's not even just rigged elections, it's just that all parties that gain enough attention to be considered as potential candidates are working for the same thing.
I think it's like we mentioned, I think we probably mentioned this before. It's like how the higher ups, the 1%, they control that. They choose who they put in office. They choose who controls what. It's just
I mean, like, people look at like all the South American and African countries and think, oh, they're so corrupt. Like they're corrupt as they're so dodgy. The police, the politicians. Everywhere else is the same. Yep. The problem is in our countries, the corruption is built into the system, so we don't know it's corrupt.
See, our system was, I guess it wasn't corrupt from the start. They just decided to implement that. Like they decided to, hey, let's take the system and turn it around and make it work for us instead of the people on the lower half. That's what they do with us. Yeah.
And I mean, it's just a thing. Like everything's designed that the richer you are, the easier it is to become even richer. It's just everyone else gets left behind. It makes no sense.
I mean, it's the like a fucking, what is his name? Elon Musk. Yeah, first person in the world to be a trillionaire, and then like complains whenever he loses that trillionaire title. It's like, dude, we don't care. Like, we get you worked hard to get to that point, but you don't have to.
I don't think any amount of work can equate to that much, if you ask me.
Oh no, God no! Like, you could waste like the majority of your life and still not make that much money.
Yep, they say hard work can get you anywhere. Okay, well, someone working as a base level Amazon worker, are they ever going to see as much as
Dude, I'm a fucking factory worker.
Are they even ever going to be a millionaire?
Yeah, like, dude. Being like even like factory workers, like the backbone of, I guess, the states, if you feel like you're useless, like you feel like you're not making enough money to actually afford to be able to do shit. It just feels like the same cycle, go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work, come home, go to sleep, wake up. That the same fucking cycle. You feel like you never have another option.
I mean, so I'm a bartender, and the place I work at is fairly, like, only a year or so old. They got through their first busy summer period, and the management there, I'm probably going to be leaving this job soon. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the way it's run. But the management got through this successful busy period. I'll admit it was successful. It was good for a time, actually. But then they got cocky. They put, I don't know if it's the same in America, how contracts work, but if you're a casual employee, you earn a higher rate, but you can be dismissed, laid off at any point without any real repercussions for the company. And your hours there's no minimum. They could give you 3 hours in a week and you'd have to live with it. But they moved everyone from casual to a part-time contract, which means they have to fulfill minimum hours. They can't dismiss employees unfairly or for no real reason. They did that to everyone because moving from casual to part-time, despite the benefits, means you get a pay cut.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but some people got put on full-time contracts, which is like part-time, but the minimum hours is always high 30s, up to 40. They did that to save money because they wanted to ride the wave. They're like, oh, we're doing well. We're busy. Winter's hit, and it's just gone off the cliff. And the managers not only did that, but they promoted, a lot of the managers just promoted themselves higher, gave themselves useless titles that seemed fancy, just so they could pocket more money when their jobs don't really change that much.
Yep.
So
that is
that's meant, for the longest time, I thought that meant, the more money's being pocketed to them, everyone else is just, sure, people got contracts, a bit of stability, but they're getting screwed over because a lot of the minimum hours on their part-time contracts weren't that high. And now that the place dropped off, they were scrambling to fill all these contracts. So people were losing hours really in the end. And everyone's getting treated worse, like it's always been on edge. There was this period where they brought in these security guys that would do nothing except just spy on everyone on the cameras, walk around to other departments, get in everyone's way, because they were spying on us. They were looking for reasons to fire us.
Really?
Because they were like, well, we have so many people on contracts, we can't give everyone the hours they need. So we need to figure out, we need to catch people slipping up. We need to find ways to get rid of them. Find any excuse. It was so bad. And like I said, if I had something else lined up, I would have already. I'm still there for now, which it sucks. I'm not happy that I'm still there, but yeah, it was just so toxic. Like there was always eyes on us. And what's worse is they opened up like a second half of the business. You know the meme of Mr. Krabs in the SpongeBob movie? Being like, so what inspired you to open another Krusty Krab right next to the first? Money!
Yeah.
That literally happened with my work. They opened up a new accommodation area with its own separate restaurant right next door. Like, I'm not even kidding, right next door.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's because it's based around a it's like a rural scenic location. So they're like, oh well, let's open a second, more exclusive area that costs you like $1,500 to $2,500 for 2 nights a stay. But you get all these fancy experiences and all your drinks and food are covered. Who the fuck's going to pay for that still? It's in this economy. It's my work is one that caters to that upper class, that 1%. I mean, I've seen it as well, even in the food, the menus. The prices go up, the food gets smaller.
Mm-hmm.
In tandem, it doesn't happen separately. It happens.
McDonald's does that shit. They what is it?
Oh yeah.
They keep the price and they just it's called what is it? Shrinkflating? That's whatever the fuck they call it. The same thing with fucking
shrinkflation.
Shrinkflation.
Yeah, shrinkflating.
And they did the same thing with like chips, like bags of chips that you're selling like air.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the name at that point. Like you're selling brand names at that point.
Yeah, it's shocking. But no, that's been happening on my work. That's a restaurant. That's not like a big brand name. That's a normal restaurant. That's stingy. That failed. That is failing. But the problem is that new area they opened, I'll call it the Krusty Krab 2. They brought in their own team of employees because they were like, oh, we don't care for all these other bums. They're not good enough to work at this new exclusive place. Also, keep in mind, the place that my work was built is the closest town is known as one of the biggest drug dens in the state. So naturally, half the people they employ are just drugs. I don't come from that city. I come in from a bit further out. So I'm closer to like the capital city of my state. But yeah, this place is closest, like only a 10-minute drive from one of the biggest drug dens, like one of the like worst cities around, basically. God. But naturally, that's where most of their employees come from. Some of the girls that work there, you can see they're high on shift. But we're meant to be like a classy, like luxury place to work at. It makes no sense when you're if you're going to like somewhere luxurious to stay for a weekend, you don't want to see your waitresses high on fucking weed.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. It's I guess okay. I work at a factory, right? So like obviously the rules and regulations are like they're supposed to be cracked down on, right? And
Yeah.
I have I have like I guess like coworkers or the employees will get so fucking high that they are like literally, I'm not even joking, dozing off while working. Like they're like falling asleep.
Yeah.
And the our one of our I guess we have a plant manager and a assistant plant manager. The assistant plant manager doesn't do shit except for play solitaire on his computer all day, and he's in our department, the glass department. All we do is cut glass, and
Mhm.
we work in a lead factory, right? But
Yeah.
he's sitting there dozing off, and I guess he was told to do something by the assistant plant manager, and he was like sitting there making fun of him because he was high. And at some point, the guy that was high even operated a forklift, and nothing was said to this guy. No warning was given, nothing. They didn't say shit to this guy. Not to mention,
Makes no sense.
our HR lady, right?
Mhm.
She goes around every single day and makes sure everyone's wearing their safety glasses and gloves whenever it's needed, and I guess steel-toe boots, right? And the same guy, he never has his PPE on
Yeah.
at all. She says this every single day, and nothing is done about it. No one says anything, and he's probably the laziest person in that factory. And yet, whenever the actual like the boss that owns the company, just because he got there at work 5 minutes before you're supposed to be clocked in, he got a good job. You're doing a good job, man. And everybody else that was like, I guess, like a minute or two late was like, you're late. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? You're supposed to clock in
Yeah.
at this time, not this time. And it
Oh.
just drives me insane. It's like, dude, can you guys get your shit together?
Yeah, no, that sounds just all too familiar for me.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the Krusty Krab 2 opened at my work, and then, like I said, they bring in all these people because I think the people at my side aren't good enough to work in this new exclusive area. So a lot of people got shunned from working there. I mean, basically, the whole idea was, oh, we're only going to let you work there if you have a pretty face because we're trying to, they took all the good-looking girls over there because they're like, oh, well, this will make up. But then a lot of them just left. It was a shit show. So they're like, okay, well, we've tried to hire so many drug addicts from the nearby city. So I guess we'll bring over some of the more nosebleeds. So yeah, I mean, we're just insulted from the get-go. But also, they didn't have their own supplies being delivered to that side. So they were taking all our supplies during the setup process of it, which genuinely screwed us over in so many regards because we were always running out of stuff because it was taken by them. Everything. And staff were taken as well, valuable staff members were taken over there.
Wow.
But yeah, it opens up. It goes alright for a bit for the opening. I say it goes alright, it was a disaster. So many things were wrong. But I guess, I don't know, the guests were happy, the reviews were good. It was so unsanitary, there were roaches in the fucking stockroom. There were everything just out of place. Everything was running out. Nothing in the bar to work with. Staff just always fighting each other. But yeah, now that winter season's hit, it's the Krusty Krab 2 here is designed to only cater to a maximum of 50 people. It's meant to be a more personalized experience for anyone that stays there. Probably why they make it $2,500 for 2 nights there. But yeah, no, it was hilarious because I think last I heard they had a quiet night with a grand total of 2 people staying there.
Wow.
So all this staff just for 2 people.
One thing I'll say though, to backtrack a little bit about the moving the women over because they look better. That's one thing I'll be happy about is in my state is they have discrimination policies so that if they discriminate between employees, then you could sue the company because of that. They've done it before.
Yeah.
My company.
The problem is it's the same thing here. There are discrimination laws, but it's they have such a subtle process. They keep tight-lipped about it. They never admit it. It'd be hard to you know, they just always have excuses for everything. They always have a way to weasel out of anything point at them. And same thing with like not giving people their breaks, making people work ridiculous hours. It's so many things they've done wrong from the get go. There's like a Fair Work Commission here that have been contacted multiple times. Nothing ever really happens, but no, to further along with that, once it died down, they had their own roster of staff at that point, and we'd filled in the gaps of our side. But like I said, everyone on our side was put on contracts, which means minimum hours need to be fulfilled, yada yada. But it was the same thing over there. But because it's treated as one whole business, their entire roster of staff, many of which are on full-time contracts, were then sent over back to our side because that place was dead, which means that they also started stealing our hours. And so many people on my side have just lost their hours because now all these other contracts need to be catered for a place we don't even work at. It's fucked. It's a shit show. Everyone's just miserable, and like that's why they've been so picky in being like, okay, well, we need to like get rid of people. We need to make people quit. One of my best mates who works there was a bartender, lead bartender, mind you, actually. He just wanted to speak out about a few issues, be like, look, I want things to improve. Things aren't improving. What the fuck's going on? And instead of, actually improving things, they're like, okay, let's just cut his hours down because he wants to criticize the place and we don't want to, invest money to fix things. But funny enough, they want to invest tens of thousands of dollars in putting in a dozen new security cameras all across the place to cover every angle. But they don't have enough money to pay everyone. No, that's just unfathomable.
That's what I've never understood about any company, is that they will I guess treat the good workers worse than the shittiest worker that you have there.
Oh yeah.
It makes no sense. It's like, hey, you do less work than everybody. Let's give you more money.
There's this one fucker. He's 18, he was 18. He gets paid less because of that. So you get a wage increase at 21. But then before that, from like 18, 19, 20, you're on the same wage, pretty much. But you're cheaper than everyone else. This motherfucker gets brought in. And he is so shit at his job. He makes mistakes all the time. But the difference is he's unsympathetic. He doesn't care. He doesn't care that his mistakes make everyone else's shift harder. And he admits as such. He says, I'm only here for the money. Why should I improve? I don't care. I'm only here for money. He says it all the time.
That's awful.
He constantly fucks up. He can't do anything right. He's lazy. He has like just a terrible attitude in general. And I mean, even the other night, he was in the back of the kitchen. Like I was told to take over his section. The first guests of his I speak to said they were waiting on wines that he never put through as an order. So I was like, okay, first table I speak to of his, and he's already fucked up. I go to the back of the kitchen after taking some plates, and he's back there talking to one of the chefs, bragging about the fact that he loves working in a restaurant because he can spend half the night just talking to the guests and not doing any work, doing less work than everyone else. I say that. I genuinely quote that one for one. I got so pissed off, I went straight to my head of the department. I said, why the fuck is he still working here? Because he's been here for 6 months. He hasn't improved, and he's still bragging about the fact he hasn't improved. And he's also multiple times violated his alcohol license by pressuring people to buy more alcohol that they don't need, putting extra shots in. Like he's straight up broken the law, and I've even heard from the managers that they're aware of it. And so I've asked why has nothing been done, and I don't get a straight answer on that. But I brought up all the other things he does, how he's lazy, he doesn't care, all this other stuff. But like I said with my other mate, I'm waiting for me to just lose all my hours now because I've brought attention to an issue that they don't want to fix. But the ridiculous thing is that he is getting more hours than ever. He will work 2 shifts in one day, a morning and an evening, for most of the week. And he's just some brat that lives with his parents and only spends his money every weekend just going out partying. Whereas everyone else, even the ones who are just a couple years older, a lot of them are fighting to keep roofs over their head to keep their vehicles running roadworthy. Like I said, my best mate there has got a family to support. He's got 2 kids and a wife that he can barely support because they're not giving him enough hours. But then we get another fucker like that who's getting 10 hours a day most of the week. And he's the worst at his job.
I hate that, dude.
Yeah,
That is shit.
But the sad thing is it's so common. My workplace isn't exactly special for that issue.
Yeah, it's common everywhere, man. It is common
It's like
everywhere.
all the systems are designed to protect the worst people possible. They're designed to demoralize everyone else because we'll see people that are far worse, far lazier than us get somewhere. It's just fucked. It really is.
Oh, dude, we've been running up on an hour and 20 right now.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised I've had this much to talk about, honestly.
Dude, we talked about a lot, honestly, between horror and,
movies and theme parks.
Dude,
being slaves to the system.
AI, the slaves to the system. Yeah, it's honestly, I'm surprised it's like so close to what we experienced in America. Like it's really not that different, the system in between us. Like I thought it would be like major.
Everything's designed to be the same, really.
Yeah,
it's all designed to be the same at the end of the day. It's a sad reality.
Yep.
Yeah, on that note, yeah, we've been yapping on for a while, but I'd say you got a solid one here.
Solid episode, yeah. I guess we'll call it if you want to, man.
Yeah, no, got a little bit to do still, but no, I have actually enjoyed this time. Thank you for having me on.
It's no problem, man.
I would definitely be keen to do this again. It's actually just been good, just a bit of rambling and whatnot.
Yeah, it was pretty nice, and I guess whatever the viewers, would like to. You got a word for the viewers, actually?
Yeah, shout out the viewers. Thank you for putting bread on our plates.
It's absolutely
wonderful.
All I can say. Yeah. Anyways,
chase your dreams. Don't let the system break you.
Yes. Chase your dreams. Don't let anyone ever tell you any different. You be who you want to be. All right.
That's right. That is right. All
right. Well, we're gonna call it here. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, follow, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you want to go check out, I guess, Cars' channel. Actually, do you?
I don't actually upload anything, to be honest. I'm just here. I'm just here for the ride.
All right then. Well, like you heard of people. If you wanna see Cars on the podcast again, let me know, and I will do my best to bring this guy back for another episode. Anyways,
hell yeah.
Peace out, motherfuckers.